Today you're going to hear from Omar, who's one of my students and also started off as my editor. And he implemented the A-list model and applied it to himself and used it to get onto film sets. So I think it's very useful for you to see somebody that used these methods and is now a paid professional working for Netflix, working for MTV, and all the big stuff in Los Angeles. You can do these methods anywhere in the world, and you can do this starting from absolute scratch, knowing nothing. Enjoy.
My name is Omar. I've done the Friends in Film program and I work in the film industry. And this call will be about an hour or so, 45 minutes. So make sure you have a notepad, pen and paper, something to take notes with, because we're going to get into some very valuable stuff. Many of you here are creative people. Maybe you've been wanting to get into film your entire life, or maybe it's a recent development. Maybe you've gotten a couple acting gigs or a couple PA gigs, but it's not consistent. These are very common stories, and the reason why you may not be working in film full time it's pretty simple. It's basically because there's a certain way the industry runs. There's a certain way that the industry operates, and from the outside it's really hard to understand how it all works because there's no one's ever taught you. They don't teach that in film school, they don't teach that in public school, but that's what we teach. That's what Janet taught me. And now, I did the program about 4 years ago. I did it during COVID. I got in the industry during COVID when everything was locked down. When I got in the industry about 4 years ago, fast forward to now, it's like incredible. It's an incredible transition that I'm sure all of you guys are looking for. That's what you're really seeking. Having a fulfilling career, a creative career where you get paid lots of money in a short amount of time is literally possible. I'm here from the other side to tell you that it's possible. So it's very possible to have a career in film. Like I never thought I'd be working in film. I went to music school, actually. I'm a musician, and it's like a similar thing where like in school they didn't teach us the business. They taught us how to make the thing. They taught us how to be creative. In film school, and I didn't go to film school, but I know many people that have. In film school, they teach you how to make a movie, how to make a TV show, how to write a script, how to act in a thing, but they don't teach you how to get the jobs. They don't teach you how to get the jobs. And that is what we teach. That's the difference that Friends in Film, the advantage that Friends in Film gives us compared to everybody else that's trying to get into the industry. And it's very valuable. So there's a lot of nuances to actually get into the industry. And they don't teach that in film school. They don't teach that in regular school. Things like, oh, this is actually the right way to reach out to somebody. Like there's an appropriate way to reach out to people. It's not cold calling. It's not emailing somebody you don't know. There's a reason why they say it's all connections. I worked with Alicia Keys a couple months ago, and all the jobs for that Alicia Keys shoot, those weren't posted. Like the director DP, that wasn't posted. Even the production assistant position was not posted. We all had to know somebody. We all had to be connected with somebody that will refer us. Okay, that's like your first key. You should write that down. You have to get referred to the work. It's somebody that is already established and is trustworthy. They have to refer you because there's tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars that are going into a shoot, and they can't trust some random person that's going to apply to a posting online. They can't trust that person with the responsibility. They can't trust a stranger to walk into Alicia Keys' house and make a movie or we made a sit down interview. So how I got that job, a couple weeks prior to the Alicia Keys job, I worked on a music video for a drag queen. She's a drag queen opera singer, Safira. And so we filmed a music video for her in a beautiful, rich neighborhood in Los Angeles, in Brentwood. And then, I mean, you will learn all of this in the program as well, like the strategies we use that set us apart. At the end of that music video shoot, I'm, connecting with everybody. We've had a good work day. Me and the DP had a really good harmony. We had a good flow with the way we worked, and we both understood like, oh, okay, this guy gets it. That's another key you should write down. Get it factor. You get it. The people that get it, the people that understand without having to be explained to, that is very valuable. That's what people want to hire. Somebody that just gets it. So we go all over that in the program as well. Anyways, fast forward to the end of the music video shoot. I connect with the DP. I'm like, oh, yo, dude, it was great working with you. You know, keep me in mind if you have any other projects coming up. And he's like, yo, as a matter of fact, I'm filming an interview with Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. Are you available? And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm available for Alicia Keys. And let me back it up a little bit too. When I first got into the industry, I have maybe a different background than a lot of you, meaning that I didn't realize that I wanted to work in film until later on in life. So I'm 30 now, and I decided to get into film when I was like 25, 26. And so it's very easy to fall into this fantasy, this lie, the status quo, where it's like, oh, I gotta struggle. I gotta be a struggling artist before I get my big break. That's not true. You don't have to do that. That's like, I don't know. I mean, I do know why. Because a lot of like major Hollywood success stories, like Sylvester Stallone and like Quentin Tarantino, like all these guys, like we hear those stories, you know, like the underdog stories where you gotta grind. You have to like be poor and not eat for months and then sell your dog and then buy your dog back after you sell the script to the major motion the production company. You don't have to do that, guys. You don't gotta sell your dog. There's a strategic way to make this happen. And that's what Janet teaches us. That's what Janet did. Oh, you know, she did it 20 years ago and she made mistakes and she did a lot of things right. And so now what this program is, it's a accumulation of all the things she did wrong and she did right. She's like, hey, don't do it this way. This way fucked me up. Do it this way. Avoid the pain. And there's a whatever survival job you're in, you know, whether it's like waiting tables or working at a bank or 9 to 5 or construction, whatever you're doing right now, there is a strategic and safe way to transition from that job to working full time into film. Another thing to keep in mind is that the majority of the film jobs, the majority of the film industry is freelance. So it's a different pace, it's a different schedule than working 9 to 5 or having somebody else make your own schedule. So I just want to plant that seed um, and kind of realize that it's going to be, you're going to change your life, essentially. You're going to change everything you've been doing or a lot of things you've been doing and transition to become a freelancer, to be a freelancer in the industry. Now, that being said, there are no rules to building your career. There are principles, there are strategies, but if you want to be an actor and a director, like you can do it. If you want to be a grip and a cameraman, you can do it. If you want to work on the short commercial jobs that pay a lot of money in 2 or 3 days and then take a week off and then work another 2 or 3 days, then you can do it. That's kind of my vibe right now. And that's similar to what Janet does. If you want to work on features, you know, and get booked on like a month-long project, then you can do that too. And yeah, so anyways, I want to plant that seed that there's you can build your career however you want. You will reach a point where you can be selective with the work that you choose. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that sound good? Being selective with the work that you choose. Right now, maybe like you hit your job and like, oh dang, like if I had the choice, I wouldn't want to go here. Well, you can do that in film later, like, oh, I really want to work with these people. I can choose to work with them. Or like, oh, I don't want to work with them anymore. I don't have to work with them. So you have a new sense of freedom in your future, in your film career. Okay, enough of my babbling. I want to start diving into as many people here as possible. Um, Amra, Amra, if you could unmute yourself, I want to ask you a couple questions and kind of figure out what your situation is. Hello.
Hey Omar, what's up?
What's up? Nice to see you.
How's your day, man?
So, let me what do you want to do in film? Like what are your goals and dreams? What do you want to do as a career?
Well, I've talked with you like probably a month ago, and I was
Oh,
telling about you that, yeah. Well,
cool.
I'm trying to become a producer,
Hmm.
basically. But of course, I love like every aspect of film and how the how all the crews are work. So, I want to work in like possibly like in every department, like to
Okay.
learn more. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
that's
the
very
moment.
smart to
Yeah.
understand how it all fits together.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you were on one of these calls already a month ago. So what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. What has anything changed since then and now?
Yeah, honestly, and nothing hasn't been changed. Well, because I'm working at a different job at the moment, and I'm trying to make myself like some sort of a time to make a transition
Hmm.
and working on that. So that's been going pretty well, but
Cool.
I'm having also like slightly a little bit problems. So maybe I'm trying to finish that first, like before probably for May, and
Mhm.
starting to search like film jobs starting from probably May 1st,
Got it. Okay.
hopefully.
And
Yeah.
then is it just like personal life stuff? Just like other things
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of the industry that's going on? Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
personal life, also with the other job. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
But
do
it's
for
not a
work now?
big
What's
problem.
what's your new job?
I work at the sushi restaurant at the moment.
Got
Yeah.
it.
It's like a day-to-day job, so
Yeah.
like paying my rent and everything, so it's kind of good. But
Hmm.
now I'm working like 2 days a week. Of
Hmm.
course, it's the monies and everything is not that enough, but it's like enough for me to make a transition.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's
it's
a
kind
really
of good. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very interesting position that you're in because
Yeah. Yeah.
you have a certain amount of free time in order to actually build your dreams and to build your
Uh-huh.
foundation to make it happen. Um,
Yeah.
and then so of course, like you need money to survive and to pay your bills.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm sure you've already on the call and you've watched already the mini course videos, but the
Hmm.
first month of our program,
Hmm.
we teach you and we show you how to make money as a freelancer. So you work 2 days a week. You can fill in more days working as a freelancer where you make
Yeah. Yeah.
like you make between like 175 or $300 a day, sometimes 400 a day actually. Luke has been getting
Hmm.
$400 a day jobs. Um and you use that to help pay for the program as well as pay for your bills. And not
Hmm.
only that, but these jobs, we use them to help us get into the film industry because it's a we call them similar to set jobs because they're
Yeah.
similar to working on a film set. Yeah, you know already.
Hmm.
So I just want to remind you that as soon as you join the program, we show you how to get these jobs and how to actually start making money. The thing is like you actually have to do the work and you actually have to like to do the steps, do the one, two, threes in order to actually start making that money. And
Hmm.
then the fact that you're coming back, it proves that you are interested and you are like ready to change your life. You're ready to step into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So what?
I'm totally committed to this.
Mhm. Heck yeah, dude. And what part of the world are you in? What part of town are you in?
Now I'm living in Los Angeles.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're in my I'm based in LA as well.
Yeah.
And then what else? Have you worked on film sets before?
Yes.
You have.
Like probably like 2 3 years ago, because well everything started from that, because I've
Mhm.
never thought about like working in films, and my friend gave me this chance to work on film. So after that, like I really loved it. Probably I used to work in mine underground mining. My major
Whoa,
is mining. Yeah. And to make a transition from mining to films, that was a whole different thing. So
that's
like
crazy.
after that, yeah, I just hooked into it, and so
Mhm.
just started to like love even more and study. but
Yeah.
but I've never had the chance to work in different movies
Hmm.
like later on, because because I used to live in different countries, so that was
Hmm.
a little bit difficult for me. So I
Where
had
did
to
you?
move here.
What country?
I'm from Mongolia.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and just transitioned here and started to live here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Awesome, dude. You're making the dream happen, moving to LA. And
yeah.
like I said, dude, like you don't have to struggle. You don't have to
Hmm.
like struggle to
No,
make it
it's fine.
happen. Like, yeah.
It's not like I'm struggling, and
Uh-huh.
of course everything is.
Uh-huh.
If you see it like as if it's difficult, it'll be difficult, right? So
That's very good. You guys hear that? The mindset is it's an important factor. You know, if you see it as difficult, it'll be difficult. If you see it as this is just part of the journey, like I'm just gonna enjoy myself on the way there. I know it's
yeah,
gonna happen. I have confidence in myself, and you obviously you have confidence in yourself. You're gonna make your dreams happen. Moving from Mongolia to LA
yeah,
to get into the film industry. Heck yeah,
yeah.
dude. Well, do you have any questions like while you're here? I know we already chatted in the past,
Uh,
but like anything that's
yeah.
keeping you from yeah. Uh-huh.
I was thinking about last week. I've been on Janet's call, and Janet told me I was working on my CVs. It's not that perfect, but I've sent it to Janet, and she saw it, and she was telling me like she had some questions to ask, about me,
Hmm.
about the CV and everything. So I was just thinking probably if if she had some questions, or should I change something.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking about maybe we could talk on the Yammer as well, right? About that, like.
Right, yeah. I'll put Janet's email in the Zoom
Uh-huh.
chat. So you go ahead and save that and you can I don't know if you emailed your CV or your resume to her yet, but if you haven't, just email her and remind her that
Okay.
she asked you to look it over and
Mm-hmm.
she'll give you feedback and then she'll get more information about
Mm-hmm.
what your goals are.
Got it.
And then you mentioned Yammer. So for everybody here, Yammer is our online community, which is also very valuable. And to give you like an example of what that's like, it's kind of like a private Facebook group. And I just worked 5 days on a commercial. I made 550 a day. Actually, I was booked to make 500 a day, and then I got a raise in the middle of it. So I'm making 2750. $2,750 for 5 days of work. And in Yammer, I'm posting updates about, oh, like this is what my day one of the 5 day job. I did this, this, and this. Oh, this is how I got the job. I texted this person that I met at this shoot. We put screenshots. Oh, this is a screenshot of what I literally exact word for word. This is what I sent him. This is the back and forth of our conversation. Doesn't that seem valuable to know like what you guys can actually communicate? And so I we set an example for each other. And what else? Oh yeah, and this is how I negotiated my rate. This is what I said. Um and then so that kind of stuff is what we put in Yammer, as well as, oh hey, I have a problem, um like this situation happened on set. This is how I handled it. Is there a better way I could have handled it? What should I do next time? And then we all give our feedback. Everybody that's been in the industry for a few years or many years will provide you feedback. And because of this, we have like a group, so what I'm looking for is like the collective information really sets us apart because you can get on your first film set and then you basically it feels like you have like 10 years of experience to everybody around you. Everyone around you is like, oh dang, they know what they're doing, even though you're like, it's my first day on set. Like um Amra, I want to ask you a question. Like
Yeah.
imagine you work on your first TV show. Okay, you work on your first
Mm-hmm.
TV show. Let's say you work in Santa Monica and you're working as an assistant, a production assistant.
Mm-hmm.
It's your first professional set. So first off, how does that feel for you? Just we're getting your first TV show.
It feels
How would you
awesome.
describe
Yeah,
the
of course.
feeling?
Yeah.
Magical?
Uh,
What do you say?
yeah, a lot of excitements, of course.
Yeah, dude.
But
Okay.
yeah, probably. But to me, when I first worked at that movie,
Hmm.
everything like probably the first day, everything was exciting.
Yeah.
But from the uh, like that didn't last long. Like how to say, like
Mm.
maybe it lasted like maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
It was very exciting, like to meet the people and talk everything. And after that, just like the mind goes straight to the work. Like what to
Hmm.
do, what should I prepare, like what's
Yeah.
next, like next day and everything. So the
Hmm.
excitement like kind of fades out.
Hmm. Okay,
So
that's pretty
maybe
cool. Yeah.
it'll be similar like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's emotions of excitement, and then also um
Hmm.
you're focused on doing a good job, which is that's what gets you hired as
Yeah.
well. You're focused on doing a good job.
Yeah.
And another thing for everybody here to take notes, how to get hired over and over again is be cool to work with. Number one, you like be a pleasure to be around because we're gonna be on set for 10 or 12 hours and people want to hire people that are cool, people that will be able to, have like good energy at the end of a 10-hour day. So that's number one. Number two is be eager to do a good job. You don't have to know how to do the job. That's a
Hmm.
little caveat. You don't have to know how to do the job. If you're eager to do a good job, it's like magic. People will start teaching you. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, we need somebody to run, on a non-union shoot. We need somebody to run second camera. Like Amra, like, can you jump on the camera? Or maybe you've never done a camera before. I don't know. I'm just making an example.
Hmm.
But you'd be like, yeah, for sure. And then they'll be like, here, like push this button, turn this thing, and then you just follow him this way. Now automatically you're learning how to operate a camera from a professional. They're teaching you. This is like you're getting paid to go to film school. This is how I learned my crafts. I didn't go to film school. I learned from professionals that do it every day over and over again. And this is what will happen to you as well. And I want to move on to Corey.
How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Nice to hear your voice. So tell me,
Yeah.
what do you want to do in film? What are your goals and dreams?
One of my goals is to be a screenwriter slash director. I just love having a creative mindset, seeing and visualizing things and being able to actually write it down and make them come to life.
Heck yeah. Super cool. And how long have you been wanting to work in film? How long have you been wanting to be a screenwriter director?
As far as wanting to be in film, ever since I was a kid, I auditioned for Sesame Street at a very young age.
Yeah.
I was in acting classes when I was a younger kid, um, but I never really got past that. And then I started to just do the the traditional route of working 9 to 5 or just having a job just to sustain life.
Hmm. Got it. And so what do you do for work now?
I've been in construction since I was 9 years old, so
Wow.
um, yeah.
Got it. And have you been booked to work on any kind of film shoot as a kid or as an adult? Have you worked on any kind of film shoot?
No, I have applied to some PA jobs. I've applied to do some auditions, but nothing really stood out.
Got it. Cool. And did you go to film school at all or not really?
You know.
Got
Mm-mm.
it. So then what do you think are the obstacles or the things that are keeping you from working full time as a screenwriter and director? Like what do you think is keeping you from making that happen?
I mean, honestly, from just the conversations I've had with other people, it's really about the connections of who you know. Um, as you said, it's a trust business. And if people don't know you, technically, it's very hard to break in unless somebody just magically discovers you off the street, which as we all know, very seldomly happens from time to time. But it's about mindset too. Is not stopping also too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you said earlier a lot of important things. It's connections. It's who you know. Very rarely does somebody get discovered, and oftentimes that discover thing, like, oh, I just need to get discovered, and then something somehow magically everything after that's gonna fall into place. That's not a good strategy to have. I'm not saying you have that strategy. I don't
Hmm.
think you do. But that's a lot of people do, and that's not the best way to build a career is hoping to get discovered.
Hmm.
And then what else you said mindset. Mindset's the
Hmm.
thing. And that is also something that we dive deep into our program. We have like a good portion of our program is developing this successful mindset.
Hmm.
Like letting go of anxieties or worries or like whatever self-doubts we have. I've had them before. But we learn how to rewire them. I don't want to get too
Hmm.
deep into this, but I'll give you an example. There's a podcast episode about this actually. I think it's called I thought I messed up with this producer, but she hired me back or something like that. That's about me. I
Hmm.
I, I messed up on a film job. I messed up like 3 or 4 times in one day. And the DP pulls me aside. He's like, bro, like you can't do this, dude. You're making us look bad. If you're actually gonna take this seriously, like get your shit together, bro. Like make sure you have your gear, make sure you know how to use it. Don't forget anything. And it was so painful. It was like, oh, like I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't want to go through the pain anymore. But because of the mindset training that Janet taught me, I was able to see like, oh, he's telling me this because he wants me to do a good job, because he wants me to get hired back. If somebody goes out of their way to tell you um what you're doing wrong or how you can do your job better, that's a good thing. And the pain is a good thing. The uncomfortable, the discomfort, that is showing you what not to do. And so now I could have been like, oh, I'm never gonna do this again. Like I got rejected or whatever. I'm never gonna do this again. I could have been like that. Instead, I was like, okay, I'm never gonna fuck up like that anymore. That's never happened. That hasn't happened since then. Because of that, I'm a more valuable person to the film set by learning how to by working on my mind. Another valuable thing you guys should write down. One time I asked Janet like yo Janet, what's the key to success? Like how do you get wealthy? Like what's the secret? What's the thing? And she was like oh, Omar, the key to success is mental and emotional regulation. And I was like, what the heck? Like I was expecting some kind of like financial principle or something. But she's like, no, it's a mental and emotional regulation. That's how you become successful and create value. Anyways, I'll go back to you, Corey. So you said connections are the thing that is keeping you from building a career, and that's very true. So the the program solves that. Literally, we we teach you how to make the connections. What part of town are you in, Corey? What area?
I'm actually stay in Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. That's a really good market. That's one of the major markets in LA. If any of you don't know the three major markets in I said it LA, but America. The three major markets in the US are Los Angeles, New York City, and Atlanta. Those are the three major markets. So you're in a major market. And basically how you will use the program, Corey, is you're gonna start tapping into that market. You're gonna actually start getting into people's phones of all of the production coordinators or who you're gonna be connecting with at first, and the production assistants. You're gonna get in their phones and they're gonna start hiring you and referring you as a production assistant. Doesn't that feel good to understand like, oh dang, I'm on so many people's lists and they're hitting me up for work? That's what's gonna happen. And then from that position, the production assistant position, you are strategically going to start connecting with writers and directors. You're going to make them your mentors. Kind of like how I explained earlier. If you're cool to work with and you're eager to do a good job, they're just going to take you under their wing. They're going to be like, "Oh, Corey, you want to be a writer? Like come meet the writers for our show. Like, well, let me introduce you." And then they're like, "Oh, cool, you're a writer. Like, let me show you this thing." It's very casual. It's not like this big like epic like moment. It's very very casual, and it'll happen over and over and over again. So that's what you can expect if you decide to do this program. Do you have any other questions or anything that you want to ask me or comments or anything?
I think just what you just said, I was watching one of the podcast episodes and it was kind of talking about the boomerang
Mhm.
method. And that's what just I forget the guy's name, but he was saying it's you don't go seeking it. It comes naturally to you. People are naturally drawn to you and just ask you like, what was your first experience like with that?
Yeah. So the boomerang method is basically we bounce back and forth between big budget union jobs and low budget non-union jobs. And
Okay.
we do this for a lot of reasons. Um, Let me give you a personal example. I I do have two crafts. I do two departments professionally. I do sound mixing and I work in art department. So like props, set dressing, spray painting basketballs purple, putting wire into a thousand rubber duckies, buying 1,000 lemons. I literally bought 1,000 lemons last week. So it's art department. I love it. It's so random. Anyways, um, I worked as an assistant on a big budget job. It was a Dakota Fanning commercial. I think the pay was 375 a day, and it was 4 days. And so on that shoot, it's a union shoot. I'm working with people that are in the union making at least 650 for 10 hours of work. And we become friends over the course of the shoot. The following week, I'm also booked on a lower budget job, an indie film, and I'm working in the art department doing effects. Like the gag it was like a horror movie slash comedy, and the gag was there was like a ghost gonna come out of the pool, and we had to make like smoke and bubbles come out all around her. And so that was my job on the indie film. So on the big budget shoot, I there's a couple things here that I want to point out. When you get on a big budget shoot, you've already passed the filter. You are trustworthy, in other words. If you can get on a big budget shoot, you can obviously do a good job, and people are more likely to refer you and hire you because you passed the filter. You've gotten in, you're on the inside. So I'm talking to my art friends, my bosses on the Dakota Fanning commercial, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, guys, next week I'm booked on this short film. I'm doing this thing. I kind of have an idea for how to make it happen, but do you have any advice or any input?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, dude, like do it this way. That's a good idea, but do it this way instead. Buy this type of tubing, just poke holes in it. Make this thing. It's called a tube of death. It'll shoot smoke out from everywhere." And I was like, "Oh wow, like oh my gosh, okay, cool." And so because of the boomerang method, because I'm on a big budget shoot and I'm booked on a lower budget shoot, they can see like, oh, okay, like Omar's actually serious about his career. He's taking on these higher responsibility jobs in a lower risk setting on an indie film. And he's passed the filter on a big budget thing. So he's gonna end up somewhere. I trust him. I'm gonna give him this information and he's gonna do good things for it. People want to mentor us when we get to that point. And then that did a lot of things for me. Like one, it really made me more confident on the indie film, on the lower budget job. And because I knew exactly what to do, because the pros who have done it over and over again, they told me what to do. They mentored me. The other thing it did is it made me more valuable because um I'm having their experience poured into me, and I'm able to pour that back out onto lower budget sets. So that sets me apart from somebody else that maybe like trying to get into film but doesn't have the same amount of experience. So that's how we use the boomerang method. And Corey, you said something like you attract the shoots, you don't go seeking them. I would say like it that does happen, but it has to be both. There is a portion where we do have to reach out and we do have to do the legwork, but when we get that foundation, then the jobs start coming to us. So it's kind of like set the foundation first, which that's what the 10 months of our program is. We spend 10 months to build our foundation. Then after that 10 months, you know the strategies, you know how the business works, and people are going to be hitting you up for work. And you know how to generate work essentially. That was a good question. Yeah, thank you for that question, Corey. So I want to, yeah, if you have any more questions, drop them in the group chat and we'll address them. I want to move on to Jenny. Uh, Go ahead and unmute yourself, Jenny.
Hello.
Hi, it's nice to hear you.
Likewise. I am just like Amra. I want to produce, but more for like feature films. I'm in New York, and I've been for 3 years now PAing, and I was in-house coordinating for 2 years, and I just jumped back out to freelance. And I kind of want to go to LA uh, because I want to like join more feature films and like start climbing up that ladder to learn how to produce for that versus um, commercials and fashion advertisement, I guess.
Got it. So you're already in the industry. You PA and coordinate full time in New York. That's your main thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome.
And
Good
so I'm
job.
trying to, yeah, it's been fun, but I'm trying to now transition to California and LA. So yeah, that's I guess where I find it a little more trickier because here, I've already established the connections. I can reach out to certain people, producers that I've worked with. It's a little easier because they've seen me work versus, going to a market where, you know, I
Mhm.
did a job and that I was coordinating, but that was different. Now I'm coming basically trying to start from the bottom to climb back up and then obviously joining I'm willing to do both non-union um, and union jobs so that I can learn or go down the path to becoming a producer for feature films.
Mhm. Okay. That's a very impressive. You know, a lot of people want to get into the industry and you've already done that in New York. And now your situation is you want to get into features, but you don't know anybody that works in features in California. Um, so just off the bat, this program may not be the best thing. That may not be exactly what you're looking for because we focus on getting people that are outside of the industry, helping them that get in and get established. But what I can tell you is you you already have a foundation. You already have a solid network of people in New York. And I don't have you told people that you want to go into features and you want to go to LA?
I have, and I get mixed reviews. Some people, I think somebody just sent me the number of a director's assistant. Um, I find it a little difficult because it's like they know the person, they don't know me, versus like if I knew the director's assistant personally, I feel like it's easier to,
Mm.
hey, I'm
Mm.
looking to move this way, but it's like I'm reaching out to somebody through someone else.
Right.
Um,
So
so
that's something that we actually do go over in the program. We call it the triangle of trust. That's a good thing. It's a good thing that somebody is willing to refer you. They trust you to reach out to a director, right? Director's assistant. They trust you to reach out to have this director's assistant job. And let me give you an example. Um, I worked my first MTV shoot. I um I landed well with the producer. Like within a couple hours, he was like, "Oh, dang, Omar's one of the good ones." Like he comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" Like, "Dude, I'm filming this commercial next month. I want you on my shoot. Let me get your number." And so how I got that job is a month prior, I worked on a Netflix job. And same thing, like I landed well with everybody. The producers liked me. So it's a triangle. MTV, Netflix, and me. So I was already connected with the Netflix producer and me. So she she had a call from somebody. She's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a good PA. Do you know anybody?" This guy. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, of course, I know this person." And it makes a triangle. So automatically, because this established professional is going out of their way to refer somebody, it's automatic trust. Like I said, if you can get on a big budget thing, you've passed the filter, you've already proven that you can do a good job. So the way you would approach that situation, and we do talk a lot about this in the program, is what to do with what you're talking about. You would just say like, "Oh hey, what's up? I'm Jenny. I got your number from so and so. We worked on this thing, and she mentioned that I should reach out to you. I'd love to get on your list." That's one of our lines. I know you have your people, but I'd love to get on your list. I'm going to move to LA, um, in whatever months or however you say, and I'd love to get on your list next time you need a good PA or coordinator or whatever, however you want to um, market yourself. The thing is, you need about like you probably it'd be good. The goal would be to have like 50 of those types of connections. So as far as our program, um, you if you wanted to do this, like we could help you. You would have to join as platinum because you already understand the early parts of the program. And when you get platinum, when you join as platinum, then you get all of the program at once. And we will guide you specifically with your situation. I was gonna say something else. The other thing is a lot of LA units will go to New York and shoot there. So there are ways to get connected with people that fly in from LA and get on their lists. So now like that's like one of the things where if you have a goal to move to Los Angeles, you kind of have to start asking people like, "Oh, hey, like I'm planning on moving to LA. Do you know anybody I should reach out to?" And then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, so and so's from LA. The dude we worked with last week. Like you should reach out to him." So start asking those types of questions when you're working on set and basically start building your connections in LA so you have people already before you move.
That's
Yeah.
good.
hmm What else? I want to, do you have any final questions?
I guess my final question would be, uh, do you guys in the program help make those connections, even like jumping on non-union as a PA? Is
Oh
that
yeah.
like I know there's a community, right?
Right, for sure. So
Yeah.
the basically like what the program teaches you, and I mean you could I'm telling not um what the program teaches you is how to get connected in your local market. So you could move to LA and start from the bottom and get connected to everybody in LA, start working on the non-union shoots and work your way up, which you will do fast because you already have a career in New York. And so anyways, that's like the main thing. We show you how to get connected in your local market, how to get into people's phones so they will hire you and refer you, how to get on their lists over and over again with many people, everybody in town. And another like principle, the big idea is how to turn one job into 10, how to turn one job into 10 more jobs. So those are like the main focus things that we show you how to do to build a career in film. Does that make sense? Is that
Yeah,
mhm.
that's those are all my questions.
Okay, cool. And like I said, like I don't know exactly if this program is a good fit for you. Um, and if you joined as gold, you would do like the from the ground up basically. If you joined as platinum, you may be able to take the advanced training and apply it in LA. There are a lot of people that are bi-coastal in the program that you can ask and reach out to. They work both in LA and New York or like Colorado and LA. So, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
thank
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Appreciate you. And can we move on to Brandon? Brandon, if you can unmute and open your camera.
Hey Omar.
Hey, nice to hear you.
Hey.
Uh, Tell me about what you want to do in film.
Yeah, so ultimately my goal is to be an actor. I guess I'll go into a little bit about like my story.
Mhm.
So I graduated college in May of 2022, and then kind of just followed like the regular path of like getting a corporate job and then, acting on the side, going to classes and things like that. And it was kind of just hard because it's like you're living in two different worlds. You know, you have all these responsibilities of like a corporate job, and then, by night it just wasn't really working. And I figured like if you want to be an actor, you should honestly just commit to it. And I just kind of got tired of the duality of everything. So, and also the job was kind of toxic. So also why I left that. So left that job about a month ago, and lucky enough for me, I'm financially stable enough to kind of make do, up to a certain point. But I also had a kind of career coach for a while, and he kind of helped me kind of realize the same thing that Friends in Film kind of does also too, with networking and getting jobs through other people and things like that, like of that nature. And it's funny because that's what I used to do when I used to work my corporate job. Like, it was sales, and if you do a good job, then that customer is calling you again, and they're giving you, hey, do you want to take this space, or things like that. So I'm like familiar with, like, I'm very comfortable, like, networking and doing that sort of thing. And also just like the lifestyle, like the way it was described, that just sounds like amazing, getting to freelance, getting to travel also too, and just getting to work in film, like around like other creative people. Like, that's awesome. So yeah, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm really just kind of ready to just commit to the program, and just wanted to hop on the call to see what I can get from it. And but yeah, I think I'm pretty much set and ready to go.
Heck yeah, dude. That's incredible. So you're ready to change your life. You're ready to step into that chapter as an actor.
Yep, I'm
Um,
ready to go.
yeah, dude, good job. That's good. That's an important decision, and the thing is we have to actually make a decision. Like, this is what I'm gonna do with my life. I remember the moment when I made that decision. It was Halloween during COVID. And I was like, bro, like, I don't like my life. I don't like what I do for work. Like, I don't, it's not fulfilling to my creative soul.
Mm.
I need to do Janet's program. I need to get into film. So I just, your story reminded me of when I made that moment. As soon as you sign up, um, start doing the program, open it up and start watching the videos, actually start taking action so you can start making money right away. You know,
Mm.
that's important, so you don't kind of get caught in like a limbo, like, okay, yeah, I signed up but I'm not doing anything. Yeah, actually open it up and do the thing. um
Right.
but yeah, dude, good job, proud of you. That's incredible. It takes a lot of guts to change your life and to do it. I used to work 9 to 5 as well. I used to do 9 to 5 IT. I help like
Mm.
fixing computers and web developing and things. And it was cool at first, but then I was like, nah, this is not right for my spirit. It's not right for my creativity.
Yeah, I felt the
Um,
same exact thing, exactly what you said. Just not right for the spirit. Yeah.
yeah, dude, you know it. And so, yeah, do you have any final questions or any curiosities about the industry before we move on?
Um, I guess just one general question is, like, I'm also kind of like interested in like fashion a little bit too.
Mhm.
So I was kind of looking into like wardrobe a little bit. Um, but I'm not really sure like how, like, is it like, if I was to work in wardrobe, would that just be like kind of stitching, making the clothes, that sort of thing, or would it, like, I'm not sure like how
Mhm.
deep that really goes.
Right, yeah. That's a good question. Um, a couple things. One, if you have like a dual craft career, that's a really good thing, especially as an actor, because if you get into wardrobe, that will actually generate acting work for you. It's like a backdoor way to get acting jobs. Because if you work wardrobe, you're interacting with actors all day. So like you'll get on set, make money, work in wardrobe department. You're meeting professional actors, you become their friends, and then they start letting you know, like, oh yeah, this is who manages me. This is my agency. You should reach out to them, like, if you're looking for representation. Oh, I heard that this, like, so and so's casting. I just signed up for the audition. So anyways, it's a good way to meet working actors and to meet agents. Um what else? As far as like the specifics, of wardrobe. I've never worked wardrobe, but I mean, I've seen it. I see it like every day. A lot of it is it just depends on the type of shoot. So I worked on a Smart and Final commercial last week, and so the wardrobe department, um, they had to basically like I think there are days of shopping. So leading up to the shoots, you have to buy outfits that are going to fit everybody that's going to be on camera, or rent them, buy or rent them, organize them on set. It's a lot of steaming, so getting wrinkles out of clothes. And then giving the actor their wardrobe, dressing them, getting approval from the director and the producers and the agency, like, oh, is this good? Is it gonna look good on camera? They're like, no, change the jacket. We don't like the patch on the jacket. Then you change the jacket. They're like, how about this? They're like, okay, good. And then, um, specifically with the Smart Final commercial, they had to use like special name tags. So like wardrobe department was responsible for like these name tags and like the apron. So whenever they would switch the main actor on camera, they would have to switch the apron and change the name tag. And it's things like that. I think a lot of it is like little repairs as well, little alterations. And if the other thing is that when you start getting these jobs, you're gonna first get hired as an assistant, a wardrobe assistant, and the main wardrobe person is gonna start teaching you. They'll start mentoring you. They'll teach you how to do the job. You'll get paid, and they'll teach you how to do the job. As long as you're cool to work with and you're eager to do a good job, then they'll show you. They'll show you how to do the job. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. I
Cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, you got it. I'm excited to see you in the program. We shall keep in touch when you join. Matthew, what do you want to do in film? What are your goals?
Yeah, so I'm actually a composer.
You're a
I'm working
composer.
on some film score right now. So I've just finished this film score. I'm now working on a documentary score. I'm just about to start actually. That's all I've been doing so far, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. How much are you getting paid to compose that film and the documentary?
I'm actually doing it for free currently.
Okay.
I'm still in university.
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys call it college. I'm in uni, so I'm just trying to build a portfolio. So I've actually been working for free as a composer
Oh, got it.
because it kind of entices people to book you. So, but then it works out for me because I'm not really losing anything, but I'm gaining portfolio material,
Mm.
and I'm also gaining experience and connections. So I'm happy to do it for free for the time being, right?
Got it. Cool. But the goal, you want to get paid. You want to be a paid composer, right? You want to be
Oh
like
yeah, of
Hans
course.
Zimmer
Yeah,
and
yeah, of course.
heck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the way you will use this program, Matthew, is our specific strategy is it's counterintuitive. It's different than what a lot of people would think because we teach you how to get onto film sets first. The pre-production and the actual filming of the thing. And from that foundation, we show you how to make the connections in post, how to make connections with the people that are composing, that are doing the sound editing, that are doing the music supervising. So, I'll paint an example for you. You'll work on sets on a TV show or a movie and become friends with the producer or the director, and you ask them, "Oh, by the way, like who's doing the music for this?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, so and so is doing the music." And then you'll say, "Oh, that's amazing. I'd love to sit in on one of those sessions if it's possible." And then they'll take you. They'll introduce you to the professionals that are actually doing the thing, and that's how you do that over and over again. That's how you start making connections. Um, you do need a portfolio. You do need some kind of reel, but it's more important to have the connections like we've been going over. The reel basically is showing people like how they can like what you can do and how they can see you or hear you in their project. But the thing is the trust has to be there. So the connections like, oh yeah, like I worked with Matthew on this TV show for 10 hours a day for a few days already. Like we're friends. oh, he's a composer. Let me introduce him to this person. He needs music for his project. So this is the way, the backdoor way that we start generating jobs. What do you think is like the main obstacle that's keeping you from being a composer full time to make it a career? What do you think is the obstacle or thing holding you back?
Well, lack of connections, uh, lack of portfolio material. I mean, I've done two scores. I mean, I've not even done the second one yet, so I've only done one score. I'm working on my second. No
Hmm.
one's going to book some of those two scores,
Hmm.
and they're not very big films either. But like I said, it's portfolio material. And do you know what? I'm going to sway off topic for a minute here. You said about working on sets.
Hmm.
That's actually funny you should say that because I'm actually I'm a sound engineer as well, and I do a lot of sound design. So yeah, that was actually you actually you actually kind of said my plan. Uh, you told me my own plan really, because that was my plan. You know, get on sets, working in sound, and then sort of work from the inside out. Really, you know,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm a composer.
Hmm.
If you need anything,
Yeah.
here's my portfolio link. So yeah,
Yeah.
you've kind of got it nail on head there. Like, so I think the thing that's stopping me from doing it full time is, you know, I've just started.
Hmm.
You know, instead of just that, I'm in my first year of uni. You guys call it college. I'm
Hmm.
at university. Uh, I'm in England, so I call it uni.
Yeah.
So what is it? Yes, I'm in my first year of university, so I'm not even qualified to be on any film sets. Well, because what I
No,
was
that's not
thinking of
true.
doing. No, I didn't mean it like that. You know, so we've got like ITV and BBC in England, and I
Hmm.
actually live in Leeds, so it's very close. So I was going to apply for a job, you know, on the sound team for like, you know, maybe like ITV, BBC potentially when I've got my masters. So I'm thinking I'm going to do my masters, and then that's where I'll take it from there. You know,
Hmm.
do
So
because
how
I can do
long
sound.
how long will it take you to do your master's?
So I've got another 2 years in university after this year. So I finish in what is it, July, June? Yes, I'll finish like July, I think. This is my first year of uni. And I've got 2 more years, and then my masters is, I think it's another 2 years, maybe
Hmm.
one. Is it 1 year or 2 years? So yeah, I'll probably finish by like 2028,
Hmm.
and then I'll probably and then I'll be looking for a job. But because I've got a master's, I'm well qualified to get a job in sound engineering. Or I'm also a music producer, but a lot of what I've done while music producing is sound, um, you know, studio engineer, working
Cool.
as a studio engineer. I've
Hmm.
been doing a lot of recording projects. That's mainly how I got into composing, really, because I was composing for artists, and
Hmm.
then I looked into composing on instrumentals for artists, you know, beats and everything. But then I looked into composing for films, and I think it's just more interesting. So
Hmm.
that's what I started doing, and
Cool.
just finished the first project
I
working
wanna I
on a
wanna back
document.
up a little bit to what
Yeah,
your plan.
yeah, my
So
plan.
right now, you mentioned you don't feel like or you feel like you once you get the master's degree, then you'll be
Yeah,
qualified enough to get hired onto a job. And so
yeah, because
uh,
sorry, go on.
I don't okay, so
All right,
the that's not how the film industry works. It makes sense for like a
no,
corporate thing or like a STEM major, like science, technology, engineering, math. Like it makes sense for those types of jobs. You need a degree to be qualified. But in the film industry, nobody cares about what degree you have. No, nobody cares. It does not help you get work. Having a degree does not help you get
no,
work. That's
yeah,
another, yeah.
all
So
right,
that's another good point
yeah,
for everybody
yeah,
to write down. I'm sorry, what was
yeah,
that,
all
Matthew?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. You're right about, you know, you don't really need qualification to go in film industry and work in sets and everything, but Um, when it comes to, like I said, we've got like ITV. I'm not sure what film companies you've got over there. What studios and whatever. We've got like BBC. You've got
Mhm.
BBC in America, haven't you? And we've
Yeah,
got
but
like
yeah,
ITV, but
it's based in England. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of jobs for like sound engineering in these companies, these types of companies, they do require um, education and qualifications and a certain level of experience.
Let
So
me. I
that's
think.
that's that's the main reason
Yeah.
I'm trying to actually get my masters because a lot of these companies like
Mhm.
BBC and ITV and maybe Screen Yorkshire,
Mhm.
they actually do require qualifications for certain roles.
Is is
So I
that
think
is that based on
that's just,
is that based on like a job posting? Like this information you're telling us that they require, is that because that's what they're posting on their website that they need the
yeah. So
degree?
I've looked on certain. So I've looked on job websites, and I've also looked on like every company's got like a careers page on their websites. I've actually
Uh-huh.
looked on the careers pages as well, and yeah, they do. I don't think they'll hire without. I mean, I can apply, but it's just a waste of time because I've not got the qualifications that
Hmm.
I'm not going to meet the requirements if I've not got the qualifications in the
Hmm.
requirements. So
So
I think,
I wanna explain something. Um,
all right,
they're posting. Let me reword this. One of the principles of the film industry,
okay,
the jobs are not posted. You know, like when I got on that Alicia Keys jobs, or literally all of my jobs, they're not posted online at all. That being said, the reason why they're putting that as a qualification on their website is so like you will have like a certain threshold of understanding of if you do end up getting hired to do the job, then you will be able to. But
mm,
that's just like a slow way to do it, you know, like you after you get your master's degree in 4 years, you know, that'll take you 4 years to build the requirements. But it's so much more valuable if you spend those 4 years building the connections because then you
oh,
can get
it's funny.
referred. You
Still, I'm still actually building connections as we speak because, like I said, I'm working on film scores for people. I'm in a lot of um, what is it? You know, like servers and chats with a lot of people in the industry. So I'm still building connections,
uh-huh.
but probably not as fast as you'll be on set. Maybe right about that.
Yeah, I mean
But I think
what I'm getting at basically is sorry to interrupt. What I'm getting at is it's very possible for you to start working with all of these production companies within a year
yeah,
doing this program instead of trying to do it going to college or going to uni, getting a master's and waiting for 4 years is very possible to start working with all of these companies within a year. You know, I just want to let you know that it is possible. And the way to do that is by actually personally meeting the people that could hire you and that can refer you. So I just want to plant that seed in you. I want to let you know that it's possible. You don't have to wait that long to and the way to do that is what we're teaching. You know, we spend 10 months building the foundation for a career so that you have the foundation to actually go to where you want to end up. Doesn't that sound better than waiting 4 years, to try and build your connections on your own and trying to like once you have a degree, um, having that like as your plan. I don't know. It just seems better to do it faster to me. What do you think about that?
so okay, so with the program, do we is it strictly not strictly, but is it how do I say it? Kind of directed at working on a set.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the focus is tapping into the film market in your area in Leeds and London. So the focus is getting into people's phones that are going to hire you and refer you for work. getting into professionals' phones that are going to hire you and refer you for work. That's what the main thing that we teach, the business aspect of it, how to get the jobs. There's a byproduct, a side product of when you get the jobs, people are going to start mentoring you in what you want to do. So when you get onto a professional set and you make a good impression, the sound engineers and the mixers and the composers are going to you're going to naturally gravitate towards each other, and they're going to start mentoring you, and they'll help you build your career that way. Actually getting mentored by a professional sound mixer or a professional composer, that's a much faster and efficient way to build a career. And I'm telling you this, I went to music school. I learned music production. I went for audio engineering. I went and I worked in the music industry for a little bit as well. And I can tell you from that experience, along with being a film professional, that the better, faster, more efficient way is to get onto a film set and meet the actual people that are doing it for a living, become friends with them, and then they teach you. So that's my experience that I'm giving you right now. Yeah. Do you have any other questions about that? I know it's kind of like a new perspective on life.
Yeah, so do you have still with the program? I know a lot of you seem to be based sort of more in is it California?
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
where you are?
I'm in Los
Yes.
Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles, California.
So you seem to be mainly based over there. What about in the UK? You
Mhm.
guys, what
Oh yeah. Yeah,
what's
we
it
have
like?
people we have
What's
people in the UK. We have people in London, Cardiff, Leeds. We have people like in Norway, in Europe, Canada as well.
that's actually,
So yeah.
that's very coincidental. I'm working on a score for someone in Norway actually. You
Oh,
might
cool.
know him.
That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, we have people
Yeah.
based in Norway. So yeah, we're like in the major cities in Europe as well. And the film industry works the same over there as it does here. It's the
Oh, right,
same
yeah.
thing. It's connections when you get on set and meet the actual professionals and be cool to work with and be eager to do a good job, then they will start hiring you and referring you and mentoring you.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Matthew. Tara, I want to move on to you, Tara, if you could unmute yourself. And I think Tara is going to be the last one for this one because we have to wrap up.
Hello.
Hello, nice to talk to you. Tell me what you want to do in film.
Um, I'm more acting. I've done not acting, but I worked in as extras in film when they can, here I'm in Kansas City. Whenever production came to Kansas City, I always signed up and I've been doing that since I was like 11, 12 years old. And reason so I like recent time because I was, doing like invited in auditions to do, to fly out to LA to do auditions. And, it was a confident thing. That's what happened. It was a confident thing from within me. But like now I want to go into it like full force. And I'm more into the writing and I can't say directing, but it's like more of what do you call it? Videography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that, filming and everything. Yeah, so that's what I want to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so you said you've been getting extra work like basically all your life?
No. It's more like in the early years I was doing it on and off, but like when I was like in my 20s, I was getting invitations to audition, but like I said, it was a confident thing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But it's just, since then, it's more like I found myself. I feel like I'm more confident to do that now.
Cool.
And I actually did an audition like a month ago.
Nice.
For a commercial, but I didn't get it. But it's not going to discourage me. You just keep on pushing, through. But yeah, I wanted to, to get the feel of how it works, behind the scenes as well. And because I have family members. They worked in the industry, as like background workers and actually working in movies. So
working on the crew.
Huh?
You mean working on the crew, on the film crew?
Yeah.
Awesome. Super cool. So you could say like you've been wanting to be an actor for a long time, but like a confidence issue within yourself kind of prevented you for so many, and then
lack of support. And but like I said, I feel like I'm confident to do it because I'm just now, like, I've been getting it back into it like for the last 6 months, and I've done like radio appearances on commercials.
Wow.
And
cool.
Everything is slow, but I want to make a career out of it. Like for real.
Yeah, for real. Nice. So the confidence thing is no longer an issue. Now you're really making the decision to make it happen. Heck yeah, for sure. And you've heard everybody else's stories, and you've heard me like explain the principles so far. What do you do for work now? What is your main income source?
I'm actually a travel agent, and I work with a lot of people, especially on cruises. And I've gone to like places doing like hosting events.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're a travel agent and working on a lot of cruises. And so what do you think is like the obstacle, now that you're a confident person, what do you think is the obstacle keeping you from acting full time?
Lack of connections. And I have this thing where I'm not gonna, try to get in with a free pass. I want to work my way up.
Nice. Yeah. That's good. That's the right attitude to have. So I want to let you know that I kind of mentioned it a little earlier, but there is a common trap with actors, like the status quo, the way that people think it has to happen is survival job and audition in your free time. It's very common for an actor to also be like a waiter or like a bartender or something like that, work at a restaurant, and then audition during the day or in their free time. And that is the slow way to make it happen.
Right.
The fast way to make it happen is kind of what I was explaining to Matthew, the gentleman that was speaking before. You can get on sets and actually meet the people that are going to hire you. You can actually become friends with them and become, have a professional relationship with them. And then like throughout the day, it's going to be natural. They're going to be like, Tara, what else do you do? Like you're not, I know you do something else. What do you do? And then you'll be like, oh, like I'm an actor, like, and then they'll be like, oh, of course you're an actor. That makes total sense. Oh, my one of my brother is shooting a film next week. We could use you, something like that. Or like, oh, hey, you should talk to so and so. Like they're casting for a commercial, So it happens on the inside. It happens on the inside. So you don't have to, like the posted auditions, the auditions that are posted, they're getting hundreds of submissions, they're getting hundreds, sometimes thousands of submissions. And it's hard to stand out. It's hard to stand out and all that. It's so congested and saturated. Imagine like, working on a film set, actually like being there behind the scenes, watching the magic happen, observing the professional director direct the professional actors, like being part of there. And then that generating like, oh hey, like so and so is casting for this role, you should audition. And so now you have a referral. It's like you're there's a sticky note next to your name when you get submitted to audition. You're not like among the hundreds of names that nobody knows. It's like, oh cool, like Tara, oh my friend referred her. Oh, okay, cool. Like, they'll give you the special treatment. And it's happened to me where I've gotten acting roles without auditioning just because I'm there, just because I'm on set. It happens all the time. I was working on a Panda Express commercial,
Mm-hmm.
and like a couple of days into the shoot, they're like on the walkie, they're like, "Hey Omar, do you want to act in the commercial? The producers like your look, and we need somebody to be behind the cash register." And I was like, heck yeah, dude, I'd love to. So, that happens all the time by being on set, and that job, it's not posted. They needed somebody right there at that moment, like the next day. And because of I was there because I had established myself already as a hard worker by being there on set, passing the filter. Um, then they're like, oh, cool, like, oh, we can use Omar as an actor as well. So that'll happen to you. It's very common for that to happen. And that way you'll start generating the acting work without having to
Mm-hmm.
to try as hard from the outside. Once you're on the inside, it becomes easier.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Do you have any questions or thoughts that I can help you with?
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as like um doing the auditions and stuff, I mean, I'm like this. So like, I mean, I could be talkative, but I'm also quiet when it comes for people that I really don't know. But I try to practice of being open. So it's more of like, trying to meet as many people as I can,
Mhm.
and it's without looking kind of what you call thirsty. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Like desperate.
Yeah. So I mean, I just pretty much like I try to make myself stand out as much as I can.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, well, she's someone to remember because I get times I can stand out because I do silly stuff too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
That's good. Yeah. And like I said earlier, um, the way to get a lot of film work, the way to get hired back and referred is to be cool to work with
hmm
and to be eager to do a good job. So, if you're there on set, making people laugh, like on the long day, whatever, like we're 9 hours into the 10-hour day, it's the home stretch. And you do something, you say something to make us all laugh or whatever, or like, you're making everybody feel good, making everybody smile and like, oh, like it just feels good to work with Tara. That's how you get more work. It's like, oh, I want to hire Tara because she does a good job and I love working with her because she's so cool. So that's what you can expect. And
okay.
now the thing is to be able to focus it, to be able to have confidence that you're doing exactly the right thing. You don't have to
hmm
guess anymore. You can actually do the right thing, say the right thing. We tell you like the types of like the words to use because there's a certain lingo, there's a certain slang that we use on set that we have to like once you become on the inside, then you start talking like that. So when you do that along with your good energy and understanding all the little things, then you'll get hired and referred as an actor. It's really simple. But yeah,
Cool.
I believe in you. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I like to make people laugh. I mean, even if I'm being silly, and I believe I can stand out to people because I'm that affectionate person. But
Yeah.
like, I'm excited for this. I'm really
Good.
excited.
Heck yeah, awesome. As you should be. It's an exciting industry. It's really cool. I and we're gonna start wrapping up now, but I had a cool moment recently. I just bought some gear yesterday. And so I'm talking with this film professional who's been in the industry for many years. And I have a travel job next month. That's what I'm buying the gear for. I'm actually traveling all over America. I'm gonna be gone for like 33 days. And I'm making they asked 7,500 for my rate and Janet helped me negotiate that to 8,500. And um anyways, I asked this dude that I bought the gear from. I'm like, oh, hey, do you have any tips on this travel job? Do you have any advice on what to do? And he told me two things that really stood out. One is just be prepared. If you anticipate anything, if you anticipate a need, then just be prepared for that before you leave. Like pack for that reason. And that's one of the things that we actually put on our resume. Something important for you guys to write down. Um, I'm good at anticipating needs. Able to anticipate needs before they happen. Something like that. That's what people want on set. That's the get it factor. Anyways, so he told me that. And the second thing he told me, he's like, oh yeah, the other thing is, dude, like you're gonna be traveling, you're gonna see all these incredible places and meet all these like incredible people. Just sit, like take a step back and just kind of realize and be grateful for where you're at, like what you're doing. Like it's really incredible the places that this industry takes us. And he continues to tell me, he was like, oh yeah, like back in the day, I got in the industry in Washington, and my first job, they shot a giant light, at the Space Needle. It's like a big building in Washington. And so my job was to sit at the top of the Space Needle. And I was there all day. And like, yeah, it was cold, but like how the heck else would I be up here? And I'm getting paid for it. It's incredible. So, that was his personal anecdote. And then for me, last week I had a travel job on the Smart and Final commercial. They put us up at a hotel on the beach. I've got like a 2-minute walk to the beach. Um, like walking in the sand and dipping my feet in the water, like after we finish shooting. And then like next month, I'm going to be traveling all over America. It's incredible. Like it's really cool the places that this industry takes us. And I know a lot of you, that's what you're searching for too, like excitement every day or like beautiful things. And it's important, like once it starts happening to you, just like to take that moment to like be grateful for it, like and stay excited. It's really cool. It can be easy. A lot of people will get complacent, like, oh, like there's no personal omelet chef on this commercial. Like this commercial sucks. It's like, bro, like it's okay. Like they still have really good snacks. Sometimes there are omelet chefs on commercials, by the way. It's amazing. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap up now. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all sharing and being transparent with me. I hope you get rich and famous and sign up for the program. Change your life. Just make it happen. Like make the decision. I'll see you in the program. I'll be in there. I'll be in Yammer. Thank you, Brandon, for the kind words. And I'll be in there to answer more questions when you join. We're friends. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.